This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, last session we discussed about joiner transformation, right? Okay, within the joiner transformation, you can join two relational sources. One is master, another one is detailed. Okay, we can join them in the joiner transformation based on join condition. Okay, within the joiner transformation, we can join relational sources are like either homogeneous relational sources as well as heterogeneous also. Okay. The joiner transformation, we can apply the join condition to join two relational sources, whether that sources are either homogeneous as well as heterogeneous. Homogeneous means if the two relational sources are imported from the same source, that is homogeneous. Imported from the different sources, heterogeneous. In the joiner transformation, we can join them either homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, no issue is there in the joiner transformation. Okay, in case if source is RDBMS and homogeneous in nature, okay, RDBMS, that too homogeneous means RDBMS, and at the same time that relational tables are imported from the same user, single schema. Same database with a single schema is homogeneous. Same database with different schemas or different users, different databases, different systems are heterogeneous. So homogeneous means RDBMS, that too same place. If imported objects are homogeneous means if those are imported from the RDBMS system, that too same schema, same user, that is homogeneous. If imported from the same RDBMS with different users, that is also heterogeneous. Okay, that sources are heterogeneous. If sources are homogeneous or heterogeneous, we can apply the joint condition itself in the joiner transformation. In case if sources are homogeneous and at the same time if you want to join at source itself, then instead of using joiner transformation, we can apply join condition itself in the source qualifier also. Okay, if sources are homogeneous and relational in nature, and at the same time if you want to apply the join condition itself at the source itself, you want to apply the join condition before manipulate the data. If you want to apply the join condition, then what we need to do, instead of using joiner transformation, we can apply the join condition itself in the source qualifier also, the source qualifier transformation. If source is RDBMS, then source qualifier properties are enabled. If sources are homogeneous, then we can apply the join condition itself in the source qualifier transformation. Okay, here in this Power Center Designer tool, first connect to the repository with your username and password. Once connected, then select repository folder that is allocated to you. After that, launch various tools are available in the Power Center Designer. Source Analyzer, Target Designer, Transformation Developer, Mapper Designer, as well as Mapping Designer. Okay, last session we created one mapping with joiner transformation to join two relational sources, master as well as detailed. Okay, now we can discuss. Actually, these two sources are homogeneous. So these two sources are RDBMS. See here in bracket, DEPD in bracket Oracle. It is an RDBMS, and here EMP is also imported from the Oracle database, same database. That too imported from the single user. So see here, these two sources are imported from the single user. That means from the single data source, Var_Scott. These two tables are imported from the Scott user available in the Oracle database. That means these two are homogeneous. If sources are homogeneous, then better to apply join condition itself in the source qualifier transformation. Otherwise, if sources are heterogeneous, then you can apply the join condition itself in the joiner transformation. The joiner transformation, we can join homogeneous sources as well as heterogeneous sources also. There is no problem. Okay. But for performance enhancement point of view, what we need to do here, we can reduce the number of levels between the source and the target, number of stages. That means number of transformations. So when number of transformations are reduced, performance will be increased automatically. Okay, that means we can reduce the distance from source to the target. How to reduce? We can remove the unwanted transformation between source and the target. If you remove unwanted transformation between source and target, then performance will be increased automatically. Okay. Now our sources are homogeneous. then try to apply the join condition itself in the source qualifier transformation. How to apply? First we can remove joiner and remove this default source qualifiers also. Source qualifier is the default transformation created automatically. So whenever we can drag and drop the necessary sources from the repository navigator to the workspace of the mapping design, automatically created. That is the default transformation. To remove default source qualifiers from the workspace, then create user-defined source qualifier. Okay, now we can create user-defined source qualifier. See here, this is the transformation bar. Find out here, this is the source qualifier transformation. Or go to transformation tab, click and create. See here, this is the source qualifier transformation. Give the title is like SQ underscore EMP underscore DEPT underscore join. So we are joining EMP table as a DEPT table in the source qualifier transformation. Now click and create. Now it is asking select sources for this source qualifier transformation. What are the sources are needed? You can select them. Okay, here if you have 10 sources, then 10 sources are listed here. Now we can select necessary sources to create source qualifier transformation. Here we have 2 sources. We need to select both. Click on OK and click on done. Now see here, source qualifier transformation was created. This is the source qualifier transformation was created with the source structure of DEPT as well as EMP also. Okay, within this source qualifier transformation, you can apply the join condition based on common call. How to apply? Double click on the source qualifier, go to properties tab, and here this is the user defined join. Here we can, what we need to do here, click on edit SQL, edit SQL editor. There is an option, edit option is there. Click on edit, then go to SQL editor. So within this SQL editor, we can apply the join condition like this based on common call. DEPT.DEPT equal to EMP.DEPT. Now click on OK. Click on apply and click on OK. Now connect the output ports of joiner to the input ports of the target. We can connect them. Select necessary ports from the source qualifier transformation and connect them to the input ports of the target. Like this, you can leave unwanted ports. So what are the ports are extra ports are available in source qualifier? Simply you can leave them. You can ignore them. Don't delete them. Just you can leave them. So don't connect. Okay. Next, here mapping is completed. What is the next step here? Now validate the mapping. Then save the mapping to the repository. Okay. Now mapping is valid and saved to the repository. Already it was saved. Now what we need to do? We need to update. See here in the output window. Find out here. Mapping is valid and updated. Updated to the repository. Okay. You can find out in which repository. In funds for RAP. Under the folder name is like training. Here passing is completed with no errors. If any errors are there in the mapping, that errors are displayed in the output window. Your mapping name is valid and mapping is updated. Because of here, this is already inserted previously. Now it is updated. Okay. Now what we need to do here, once mapping is updated to the repository, then go to workflow manager. So within the workflow manager, create a new workflow or modify the existing workflow. For this mapping already workflow created. Just we can apply the changes that are updated in the already applied in the mapping. We need to update them to the respective workflow also. Okay, here this is the workflow manager tool. Within the workflow manager tool, connect to the workflow with username and password. So once connected, then select repository folder and expand. Then go to tools tab, click on workflow designer. So within this workflow designer tool, what we need to do here, this is the workflow, already created workflow in the current repository folder. Now just you can double click on the session task and you can find out whether changes are applied or not to the session task. Go to mapping tab. Okay, this is the one, source qualifier, user defined source qualifier created with this join condition. And here we need to change this DB connection, var underscore start. Okay, var underscore DW is related to target, var underscore start related to source. Okay, this is our target. Okay, within this target table already data loaded. Now we are working with the same data. That's why what we need to do, we need to enable truncate target table option, enable this option. Because we are working with the same data coming from the input source. Okay. Data is not changed in the source. No data is added in the source. We are working with the same data. That's why enable truncate target table option. But in the real time, we don't want to enable this option because of in the real time we are expecting new data from the source. We are expecting every time. Okay, why do we need to run this mapping? We need to capture the updates in the source or capture the new data available in the source and move that data to the target. Click on apply. Click on OK. Next, validate and save to the repository. Next, go to workflow step, start workflow, and observe the status in workflow monitor tool. This mapping is executed correctly or not. Okay, here workflow monitor is open but not connected to the repository automatically. Then connect to the repository manually. Sometimes it was connected automatically. If not connected, connect manually. Connect to the info_ints and integration service. We are working with the training. It was succeeded. Okay, here double click on the workflow, then we can get the tasks available in the workflow. Double click on the task and you can find out the task details. See here 14 rows extracted and 14 rows loaded to the target. Okay, previous here, this is the previous one. You can find out here. Previously we executed this mapping. Within that time, how many number of rows are extracted? 18 rows means this is the total count of 2 sources. Right now we are working with single source qualifier. Within that source qualifier, we applied the join condition. Based on that join condition, how many number of matched rows are selected? 14 matched rows are selected. That's why here showing count is 14 instead of 18. Okay, this is the total count of 2 sources after join. After join, there are 14 matched rows. That 14 matched rows are inserted to the target. The previous run also, you can find out 14 rows are inserted. 18 rows selected means this is the total count of 2 sources. See here 4 from the EPT and 14 from the EMP. Total is 18. If these 4 rows are joined with this 14, then output is 14. This output of joiner transformation is insert 14 number of rows are the output of the joiner. 14 rows. That 14 rows are inserted to the target. The previous run as well current run 14 rows are inserted. The difference is here if you apply joiner transformation after extraction, after data extracted for the 2 sources individually, then only join condition is applied. Or if you can apply the join condition itself in the source qualifier before extraction, join condition is validated. That means performance will be increased. Okay. So this is the difference between join condition applied in the source qualifier transformation as well as joiner transformation. Okay. If sources are homogeneous, then only you can apply the join condition in the source qualifier transformation. If sources are heterogeneous, then apply the join condition in the joiner transformation. Now we can discuss about filter transformation. Okay, here if you can apply the join condition, the source qualifier transformation or joiner transformation, within that situation, what are the matched rows are available? That all matched rows are inserted to the target. Now my requirement is I don't want to insert the all matched rows to the target. I want to insert only a required number of matched rows to the target. Okay, I don't want to insert the all matched rows. So that is the requirement. As per that requirement, what we need to do here, we can apply the condition. Okay, what are the rows are needed and what are the rows are rejected based on condition. Okay, we can apply that condition in one transformation. Name of the transformation is filter transformation. Okay. So now we can discuss about filter transformation. Okay, filter transformation is working based on filter condition. Here we can apply the filter condition as per the requirement. For example, our requirement is if how many number of employees for and their salary greater than or equal to 2000. So only those employee details I want to insert into the target. I don't want to insert the employee details if their salary less than 2000. If their salary greater than 2000, only those employee details I want to keep into the target table. That is the requirement. Okay, as per the requirement, what we need to do, we need to apply the condition. Where we can apply the condition, we can apply the condition in the filter transformation. Okay, we can apply the condition in the filter transformation. Okay, now we can create a filter. This is the filter transform. We can select the filter transform from the transformation bar, or we can create from transformation tab also. You can create and select your filter required filter transformation. Apply here. Okay, EMP cell greater than 2000. Here is the filter transformation name. You can create and done. And now here what we need to do here within this empty transformation, we can fill with the required ports. What are the ports are needed? You can select them from the previous transformation, then drag and up to filter transformation. The filter transformation has IO ports. It has only IO ports. Select necessary ports from the source qualifier, then drag and drop to filter transformation like this. So after that, we can apply the filter condition in the filter transformation. Here in the filter transformation, input rows are verified in the row by row basis. Okay. Here, what are the rows selected from the source qualifier transformation that are one by one compared with the filter condition defined in the filter transformation. Okay, during the comparison, if any row is validated, if any row will meet the condition defined in the filter transformation, that row will be selected and selected row will be inserted to the target. Okay. Now double click on the filter transformation, go to properties tab, see here this is the filter condition, by default true is there. Now what we need to do instead of true means select all. The all rows will be selected if filter condition is true. Instead of true, what we need to do here, you can apply the filter condition like this here. I want to apply the filter condition like this. So click on validate and click on OK. So based on this condition, valid rows are selected and invalid rows are, if this condition is invalid for any row, that row will be rejected and the rejected row permanently removed. There is no backup for the rejected rows in the filter transformation. No backup is available. Okay. Click on apply and click on OK. Now connect the output ports of filter transformation to the input ports of target like this. Okay, here we can apply any number of conditions here. Here you can apply any number of conditions, not only single condition. For example, here I want to apply the filter condition is like where department number equal to 30 and sal greater than or equal to 2000. Okay, here and is a logical operator. This equal to, greater than or equal to, these are relational operators, and are not, these are logical operators. We can apply the more than one conditions with the logical operators. And operator means if both the conditions are satisfied, then only select the row. If any of the conditions are failed, either of the conditions are failed, then that row will be rejected. Now validate. Okay. Click on apply and click on OK. Okay, now here based on the condition defined in the filter transformation, rows are selected, valid rows are selected and invalid rows are rejected. Okay. Okay. Now here what we need to do, go to workflow manager. Here existing mapping was modified. That's why right click on associate session task. If existing mapping was modified, parallelly if workflow manager tool is also open, then right click on associate session task and click on refresh mapping. Then changes are reflected. See here, this is the remark symbol is highlighted here. That means there are some changes. The session task, we can observe the changes also. Double click on session task, go to mapping tab, we can find out here, this is the transformation. Here, this is the condition is defined here. We can't change it here. Click on next, validate the workflow and save to the repository. Okay, next what we need to do here, this workflow already executed. That's why go to workflow monitor tool, right click on the session task, click on restart task. Don't click on restart from workflow task. Just click on restart task to restart only selected task. The previously 14 rows are inserted, all rows are inserted, all matched rows are inserted to the target. Now we don't want to insert all matched rows to the target. We insert only required rows to the target based on the condition. See here, total 14 rows selected again from the source, but 4 rows are inserted to the target because of filter condition. You can preview the data loaded in the target table also. Right click on the target table, click preview data, and enter ODBC data source details. Okay. You see here, for these 4 employees, this is the salary greater than or equal to 2000. And that employee details are inserted to the target with respect to the department. Department number 30 and employee salary greater than or equal to 2000 within this 30th department. Okay. Here, only for these 4 rows, the 2 conditions are satisfied. Filter conditions are satisfied. Okay. Here, totally how many number of rows are selected from the source code? 14 rows selected. Out of 14, only 4 rows are inserted based on filter condition. Only 4 rows are inserted to the target. So what about remaining 10 rows? The remaining 10 rows are rejected. The remaining 10 rows are got rejected in the filter transformation and removed. There is no backup for the rejected rows. Okay, actually we are expecting to maintain that rejected rows in some other target table. But here, based on the filter transformation, here rejected rows are not maintained in any location. There is no backup for the rejected rows that are simply expired at the transformation itself. Expired. There is no backup for the rejected rows. But here, based on the condition, what are the rows are rejected? If you want to keep those rejected rows into some other target table, then what we need to do? Actually, we are thinking like we need to use one more filter transformation, and within the filter transformation, the reverse manner apply the filter condition. Then what are the rows are rejected for the previous transformation? Based on the condition, that rows are selected for the second transformation. And what are the rows are selected for the previous transformation? That rows will be rejected in the second transformation. In that manner, we are thinking. So that is a complicated procedure. If you are thinking like that, according to our thinking, number of selections and number of rejections are increased. If number of selections and number of rejections are increased, what happened? Performance will be degraded. The selection is okay. System is easily select the rows, but it's very difficult to reject the rows. Row rejection is a difficult task. Row selection is easy task. Rows rejection is difficult task. Okay, that's why here performance will be degraded. Okay, based on the filter transformation. That's why what we need to do. Okay, we can go for other transformation. Name of the transformation is rotor transformation. If you want to split the data and in the form of groups and insert each group data to the respective target table, then we can go for rotor transformation instead of filter transformations. Okay, because of we are using more than multiple filter transformations for selections and rejections, then performance will be reduced. To increase the performance, what we need to do is instead of using multiple filter transformations, we can use rotor transformation. Okay, now we can discuss about rotor transformation. Okay, so if you have any questions, then you can ask me. Hello. Okay, right now, up to now, you don't have any questions.
No, right now only one
Hmm.
question is what you
Hmm.
mentioned today only, and for yesterday
Hmm.
also there is some doubt.
Okay,
So shall I ask now or end of the session?
you can ask me.
Yeah. For now you told no row selection, row rejection. Why rejection is
Hmm.
very tough and why selection is easy?
Selection is very easy means here easy task. That means here, okay, if you want to select anything,
Hmm.
okay, if you want to select anything, for example, there are 10 items are there. If you want to select your required item from the 10 items, you can easily select it. Okay, happily we can select from the whatever the item is needed, you can select that item as per your requirement. If you want to reject it, you can select it, you can observe it, and again, what we need to do, we can reject it. Okay. You need to take, as a human being also, we can take more time. Select the item, observe the item, okay, and reject the item.
Oh
Select
yeah.
the item, observe the item, reject the item. It takes
Before
actually three actions are there. Select item, select the item, only one action. If you want to reject it, select it, observe it, again reject it. It is a difficult task for even technology also. Okay, it is also working same as like human being mind. Okay,
okay.
instructions we are giving instruction how we are thinking same manner system will also thinking because of we are giving that instructions in the form of transformations in the form of conditions. Okay.
And for yesterday one doubt is
Mm. Mm.
uh, in repository manager there are so many repository are there, right?
Where?
In repository manager,
Okay, yes.
so many repository are there, but in designer
Mm.
only we can connect to one repository, right?
Here also we have so many. Here also it is listed all the repositories.
Okay, okay. Here also we can connect to all repositories.
As your requirement, as your wish. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay, all are listed here also. How many number of repositories are added in the repository manager? All
Hmm.
are listed in the all repositories are listed in the Power Center Designer tool also in the repository navigator window. All are listed. All repositories are listed. Okay.
Okay, okay. Hmm. And next is when
Hmm.
in joiner transformation when we were dragging
Hmm.
the from source
Hmm.
to the joiner, why we are
Hmm.
dragging first detail source, then why then master?
Okay, that are the instructions we are giving. Actually, we are giving to the technology. Okay, because of we are comparing detailed data to the master data. Okay, if you want to compare detailed data to the master data, that is the easy procedure. If you want to compare master data to the detailed data, that is a complex procedure. Because of detailed data is always more compared to master data. Master data is very less in the sense lightweight. The lightweight data comparison is very easy. Okay, instead
Hmm.
of more data in the sense the weight in the sense the size. The size
Hmm.
of the detailed data is more compared to master data.
Hmm.
Okay, and at the same time here we are giving the instruction like that. The tool is designed like that. Okay, detailed. For example, what is the difference between 1 into 100 and 100 into 1? 1 into 100 is equal to what, and 100 into 1 is equal to what?
Same 100.
Value is same. Here also, if we can define master as a detail and detail as a master, we can get the same data.
Okay.
Okay, 1 into 100, 100 into 1 is same. Same in the sense what? Calculation point of view. So 1 into 100 is equal to 100. 100 into 1 equal to 100 only. But
Hmm.
difference is, what is the difference? 1 into 100 means only 100. 100 into 1 means 100 ones.
Hmm.
There is a lot of difference.
Hmm.
1 into 100 means only one calculation, 100. 100 into 1 means 100 ones, not
Hmm.
single one. Okay, 100 into 1 means 100 ones. 100 ones equal to 100. 1 into 100 equal to 100. Lot of difference is there in the calculation point of view. Okay, here
Yes.
it's not a human being brain. Okay, we can give the instructions like that to the technology. But technology, how it is calculated 100 into 1 plus 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 up to 100. That
Got it.
is
Got
100
it.
into 1. Okay, 1
Hmm.
into 100 means only 100. Calculation very easy. 100 into 1 is not a simple calculation. It is a
Hmm.
complex calculation. Okay.
Yes. Understand. And in
Okay, in
joiner
that manner, here also in the joiner transformation, data processing can be done like that only. Okay, if you can define in the reverse manner, what happened means if you can drive your car in the reverse, what happened to the back at the same speed? Okay, you can raise the accelerator and drive the car to reverse. What
Hmm.
happened? And drive the car to forward in the same speed. You can raise the accelerator in the same manner and drive the car to forward. That means
Hmm.
to front. And in the same manner, in the same speed, you can try to drive the car into reverse. What happened? Hmm? You can get the same speed for front as well as back. We
No.
didn't get right.
No.
Actually, there is an engine, right, for your car. There is an engine. Here also informatica has the engine. It is a software engine. It's not a mechanical engine, it is a software engine. Okay, informatica has a backend, it is a software engine. Informatica is a software engine. Okay, here we can give the instructions to process the data in the particular order. It's very easy for the technology to process the data. If you can do that work in the reverse manner, what happened? Here, server in the sense, in real time, companies are maintaining servers, very big servers. They are maintaining very big servers. Size of the RAM is 128 GB, 256 GB RAM, not ROM, not hard disk. Hard disk is terabytes and gigabytes. The RAM is 128, 256.
Yes.
Size of the RAM for their servers. Okay, they are running at very speed. Then here in the background, what happened here? Heat is generated. That's why what they can do, they can control the heat by using what? ACs. Okay, always keep the servers in AC rooms, right?
Yes.
Very cool AC rooms. Okay, deep cool. So because of here in the background, what happened? Servers are generating heat while they're running. Okay. See, that's why here also here our local computers are okay, but in the real time these machines are running on servers. Okay, that's why heat is generated. If we can doing the work in the complicated manner, heat is generated. It affects on the server performance. Sometimes servers are crashed due to overheat generation. So don't affect the servers. Okay, to do the work in the complicated manner. Now we understand, right?
Yes, yes, I understood now. And in joiner transformation, there is one more thing, the master outer, detail router.
Yes, yes, yes.
That is, I think we didn't cover that one.
I'll explain that, Malak. Okay, mass outer, detail outer. Just I shown to you the right. Did you observed or not?
Yes, yes.
That's enough. We don't want to show them in the practical manner. Enough. Okay,
Yes.
here how it is selected, how it is rejected. Enough. Okay, here mass outer join is same like left outer join. Okay, detail outer join same as like right outer join. Full outer is full outer. You don't want to discuss in the practical manner how it is affects. It's not necessary. Just you can imagine it. Okay, as a developer. Okay, everything is not necessary to do it in the practical manner. Sometimes you can imagine it. Okay, how it is working. Okay.
Okay. So again, we'll cover joiner again, or
We
this is
don't want to that is repeated again. Okay, no problem. Okay.
okay. Okay. Okay. Now you can continue.
Hmm.
Doubt. There is no doubt now.
Hmm. Okay, you can practice it. Already I sent one video, right? You can practice it. Okay. You can practice and you can show me if you have any doubts. Okay, now we can discuss about filter transformation. Okay, filter is completed. Now
Router.
here, yes, yes. Now we can discuss about router transformation. Here, sorry. Okay, assume here our source is EMP is our source. Okay, and here we have three target tables. Okay, EMP underscore 10, EMP underscore 20, and as well as EMP underscore 30. Okay, these are the three target tables. Okay, here our requirement is divide the data came from the single source. Here we can get the entire data from the single source, that is from EMP. Now our requirement is split the data and insert the data to the respective target tables. Now, how to split the data and insert the data to the respective target tables means by using rotor transformation. Okay, now we can discuss about rotor transformation, how it works. Okay. go to mapping designer, enter the name of the mapping. Okay, here we can create new mapping. So don't modify the existing mapping, then try to create new mapping for easy understanding. Okay, we are creating new mapping. Next, select our source. This is our source. EMP is our source. Drag and drop the mapping designer. Next, select our targets. Then drag and drop the mapping designer. Okay, in this manner. Okay, after that, what we need to do here, read the entire data from the single source and split the data in the form of groups and insert each group data to the respective target table. Okay, that is the requirement. Now here, for that requirement, we can use rotor transform. This is the rotor transformation. Okay, select rotor transform from the transformation bar, then place the cursor on workspace. After that, it is an empty transformation. Every time empty transformation will be created. Now select the necessary ports from the source qualifier, then drag and drop to rotor transformation. Now here in this rotor transformation, by default input group is created. Input group is created in the rotor transformation by default. So once input group is created, now as per the requirement, create necessary output groups. We can create. How to create? Then go to groups tab and add. This is the add a new group to this rotor. So we can add necessary output groups. By default group is created. We can ignore it in order to worry about that default group. Okay. Now here we have three target tables. That's why give the name for the respective group, like EMP underscore 10, EMP underscore 20, EMP underscore 30. Give the titles like this. Name of the groups. And for every group, how data is divided based on group filter condition. Okay. Here we can apply the group filter condition is like department number is equal to 10. Okay, next department number is equal to 20. Next department number equal to 30. In this manner, can divide the data in the form of groups based on group filter condition. Okay, in this manner. Okay, here how it is working. Here we can get the set of rows from the single source. That rows are verified with the conditions defined in the rotor transformation. So first row verified with the first condition, first group filter condition. If failed, compare with the second condition. Second condition is satisfied, then that row is moved to the second target table. Okay, in that manner, rows are divided based on the group filter conditions. Okay, and if any row is not meet these three conditions, that row will be moved to the default row. Okay, right now we don't have any default rows in the source. We have rows that are related to 10, 20, 30 only. Okay, other than these three conditions, no extra rows are available in the source. Okay. If you have extra rows, that rows move to the default group. If you have a requirement to give that to keep that default rows to the one target table, then connect the default group to the default target table if you are available. Okay. Now click on apply. Click on OK. Now see here how it is created rotor transformation. Okay. See. Now we can select the necessary ports of the first output group to the connect them to the input ports of the first target table. Next, connect the output ports of second group to the input ports of the second target table. Next, connect the output ports of third group to the input ports of the third target table like this. Okay. If you have default target table, connect the default group to the default target table if you are available. Right now we don't have. Okay, we don't need to connect the default group to any target table, not necessary. Okay, because of no extra rows are available in the source. Next, validate this new mapping and save to the repository. Okay, so once it was saved, then go to workflow manager and create a new workflow. You can create. We are in the workflow designer tool. In the workflow designer tool, we can create a workflow like this. WF EMP underscore rotor. Click on OK. Now by default start task is created. It is a dummy task. Okay, it is easy to initiate the integration service during the runtime. To run the various tasks are available in the workflow. Now this is the taskbar. Within the taskbar, this is the session task. Okay, select the session task from the taskbar, then place the cursor on workspace of workflow designer tool. Now here in this current repository folder, we have two mappings. Select your required mapping to associate with the session. Click on OK. Now session task is created. Now we can link by using this is the link task. Select task, a link task from the taskbar. First we can place the cursor on start task. Next place the cursor on session task. Now link is established. Link task is established between start to the session task. Now double click on the session task. Go to mapping tab. Yeah, this is our source. The source is available in the Scott user. The target is available in the DWH user, and each target table has primary key. If target table has primary key, then choose normal only. Okay, these are all existing target tables used in some other ETL mappings. In the real time, don't use one target table in multiple mappings. Don't use. Okay, don't use a target table in multiple mappings. We can use source. We can use source in multiple mappings, not an issue. Because from the source we are extracting, but to the target we are loading. Data already loaded to the target. It's not possible to load same data to the same respective target table from different mapping. It's not possible. That's why don't use target table in multiple mappings. Don't use it. Okay. Now for this target table, what we need to do? This target table already has data. Data already loaded. That's why enable truncate target table option. Next, for the first time, run the workflow from the workflow manager tool. Okay. From next time onwards, just we can restart the workflow, restart the task from the workflow in the workflow monitor tool. You no need to start from the workflow manager again. It was succeeded. You can find out 14 rows extracted from the single source and 14 rows are inserted to the 3 target tables. Find out here statistics of the source and target. 14 rows extracted from the source. 3 rows inserted to the first target table, 5 rows inserted to the second target table, and 6 rows inserted to the third target table. Okay. Totally 3 plus 5 plus 6 equal to 14. So this is the total count of target success rows. Okay, this is not an individual count, this is the total count of target success rows. The individual count, if you want to see individual count, you can go to statistics. Then you can find out how many number of rows are inserted to the respective target tables. Okay, so this is the information about rotor transformation. Okay, rotor transformation allows you to split the input data into multiple groups and insert each group data to the respective target table. How data will be divided into groups means based on group filter condition. For every group, we can apply the group filter condition in the rotor transformation. So based on the group filter, valid rows are selected and insert that group of valid rows of that particular group to the respective target table. Okay. Here one-to-many mechanism for the rotor transformation. One-to-many. One means single group, single source and multiple targets. One-to-many. Read the data from the single source and split the data to the and move the data to the multiple target tables. One-to-many for the rotor transformation. Okay. Now we can discuss about another transformation is sorter transformation. Okay, sorter transformation. So what is the purpose of the sorter transformation? Means sorter transformation is to sort the rows either in ascending order or descending order based on key column. Based on one or more key columns, sort the rows either in the ascending order or descending order. Okay. So now we can discuss about sorter transformation. Okay, actually, why do we need to go for sorter transformation? Because of sometimes input data is not available in the sorted order format. Okay, here we don't know in which order data is available in the source. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here in the source, we don't know in which order rows are available in the source, we don't know. That's why what we need to do as per the requirement. Target is our requirement. Okay, as per the requirement, we need to insert the rows either in the sorted order format or sorted order format in the sense either ascending order or descending order. We want to change the order of the input rows into required format. required order, then we can go for to use sorted transformation. Okay, now we can discuss about sorted transformation. Okay, we can create separate mapping, or we can include in the existing mapping also. Okay. Then now we can discuss about sorted transformation to sort the rows either in ascending order or descending order, okay, based on particular column. Sorted order column is like salary, for example. Based on salary, we can sort the rows in the descending order to display the employee salary details from highest level to lowest level. Okay, that is the requirement. As per that requirement, we can use sorted transformation. Here the AZ symbol is there. It is a sorted transformation. Select it from the transformation bar, then place the cursor on workspace. Now what we need to do, we can select necessary ports from the source qualified transformation. What other ports are needed, select them from the source qualified, then drag and up to sorted transformation. Okay. Now here select the necessary ports from this, all ports, necessary ports from the source qualified, drag and up to sorted transformation. And within this sorted transformation, we can choose a column that is key column. By default, all are IO ports in the sorted transformation. Now see here is the cell. Cell is a key column. Now what we need to do here for this cell, we can enable key. Actually, it is a salary. The salary is an amount. It is a measure actually. We can call it as a measure. So for measure columns, always you can choose the direction is like a descending order. Don't choose ascending order, choose descending order. Okay, for department wise, if you want to do it, then what we need to do, we need to change the order here. First of all, department wise, we can divide the data in the form of groups based on key column. We need to keep it as a key column, and here in the ascending order. In the ascending order, we can sort the rows based on department number. After that, sort the rows based on salary within that respective department in the descending order. So for every department, we can show the employee salary details in the descending order. Here we selected two columns as key columns. Okay, as per the requirement, what is our requirement here? We can sort the employees based on department. After that, again, we can sort the employees within the department based on salary in the descending order. Okay. Now click on apply and click on apply. So why do you need to keep this department number on top of the salary means here data processing can be done from top to bottom. So that's why here we can keep department number on top of the salary. First we can sort the employees based on department number. After that sort their details based on salary again. In this manner, we can design the logic and the sorter transformation. It has only IO ports, same as like filter transformation. Here we are sorting the rows based on department number as well as salary of the employees within the department. Again, validate it. Then save to the repository. Here, existing mapping was modified here. That's why, again, in the workflow designer tool, and that respective association task, session task, right click and click on refresh mapping. When we click on refresh mapping, sorry, not this one, I think this is when we can click, right click and click on refresh mapping, the changes are reflected like this. Now we get validated and save to the repository. Then again, what we need to, history is available, the monitor. That's why you can use that history. We don't want to start the workflow from the workflow designer. Just use the history and restart the task or restart the workflow. Here we can restart the task is sufficient. We don't want to restart the entire workflow. Okay. Here we removed filter transfer from the mapping. That's why all rows are inserted to the target. From the source qualifier, 14 rows selected, that 14 rows are inserted to the target. But these rows are again, order of these rows are changed, the sorter transformation. Okay, we design the logic and sorter transformation to sort the rows. in the ascending order based on department number, and sort the rows in the descending order based on salary of the employees within that department. Based on the logic, whether the data is loaded or not to the respective target, you can observe it. Now you observe clearly. To see here, 10th department, you can find out here in the 10th department, 5,000 is the highest salary. Second highest salary, 3,200. Third highest salary, 3,000. Okay, we have only 3 employees. That's why see here, top to bottom. Again, see here, 20th department. This is the 20th department. Highest salary is 3,200. Second highest salary, third highest salary, fourth highest salary, fifth highest salary. Total 5 employees are working. You can find out here, top to bottom, highest to lowest. For the 20th department. Again for 30th department, find out here. 3,500 is the highest salary. 1,250 is the lowest salary. You see here how the data is processed here through sorted transformation based on the keywords we selected in the ascending order as well as descending order. Okay. Because this is the information about sorted transformation. Okay. Okay. Up to now, how many number of transformation we discussed? We discussed source qualified transformation, joiner, filter, router, as well as sorter. Totally 5 transformation we discussed. Okay. Okay, here within these 5 transformations, if you have any doubts, then you can ask me. Regarding this sorted transformation also, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Or
filter router and
this is the
joiner
sorter.
all are active transformation, right?
Yes, here up to now what we discussed all are active transformations.
All are active.
So
But
yeah.
why sorter is active? Because input there are 14 record coming and 14 record also there. So why this is
No. Don't think like that. Okay. Here, what is passive transformation means? Passive transformation doesn't have the self capability to change the order of the rows. Okay. Here the order of the rows are changed. Okay, input number of rows are equal to output number of rows, but order is changed, right? Then this transformation order will be changed. Whereas in the expression is a passive transformation, we are not discussed. But for passive expression transformation, input number of rows equal to output number of rows, and at the same time, order is also not changed. In the passive transformation, even order is also not changed. Okay, order will also be remain same. Okay, how in which order rows are moved to the respective transformation, same order we can get from that respective transformation again. Okay, input order same as output order. Output of the transformation. The order of the rows are order of the rows. In which order rows are moved to the transformation, in the same order we can get from that respective transformation as an output. The order will also remain same. Not only number of rows, but also we can consider order. Here order is changed, right, within this transformation. That's it is also active transformation. The only single point is not sufficient to give the definition for the transformation as an active or passive. Okay, here we can consider multiple points. Okay. Here in the sorted transformation, order will also be changed. And not only that, here we have, if you want to, if you are stick on that respective point, we need to reduce the number of output rows. So input number of rows are 100, output number of rows we are expecting less than 100 only. If you stick on that point, then only you can define that transformation, active transformation. Here also in the sorted transformation, you have an option that is called as a distinct option. If you enable this option, what happened? If any duplicate rows are moved to the sorter transfer, for example, 100 rows are there. 100 rows are the input for the sorter. Out of 100, 2 rows are duplicate rows. When we enable this option, distinct option, what happened? Output is 99 rows only. Input is 100, but 99. Input is 99. Sorry, output is 99. What is the reason? Here, our target here sorter transformation give only distinct rows. When we enable this option, if you enable this distinct option, even though input has any repeated rows, that repeated rows are got rejected while giving the respective rows as an output. Okay, only from the sorted transfer we can get the distinct rows. Input has repeated rows, but output has distinct rows only. Okay, output of the sorter has distinct rows. Number of rows are reduced within that time. Then the situation also we can call it as a active transformation. Okay. In this scenario, if you enable distinction option, output number of rows are reduced. There is a chance, right? There is a chance to reduce the output number of rows. Then input number of rows are not equal to output number of rows. Okay, input number of rows are 100. Within that 100, some repeated rows are there. That repeated rows are got rejected when we can give them as an output when we enable that distinct option. Then repeated rows are rejected. Okay. Then we can get the unique rows. Output is unique. Input has repeated rows and output has unique rows. Unique rows are always less than repeated rows are available in the input. Okay. In this scenario also here, yes.
All transformation I can see that on tracing level. What is that?
I'll explain what is tracing level. Okay. Okay. Tracing level related to a log file. Okay. Here system will also what is the logic we defined. For example, in this auto transformation, we enable two ports. One is the department number as well as another one is salary. Okay, department number for department number selected direction is like ascending order, whereas for salary selected direction is like descending order. Okay, based on the selection of the direction for that respective key columns are available in this order, how that rows are got selected. That means ordered. That information is written by the technology in the log file. Okay, that is called as tracing level. Okay, at what level of information needed in the log file, that is called as tracing level. We can discuss clearly about what is tracing level. That means tracing level means already given definition. At what level of information needed in the log file, so based on that we can give the tracing level within the transformation. Okay, tracing level will be varied from one transformation to another transformation. Options are same, but as per the requirement we can change them. Tracing level by default normal is there. Instead of normal we can select a test. We can select verbose data, verbose installation. Okay, total 4 options are there. Okay, verbose test, normal, verbose installation, verbose data, 4 options are there. We can discuss clearly about those 4 options. Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow's class we can continue to discuss about other transformations. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Parallelly, you can start practice also. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can meet tomorrow at same time. Okay.
Yeah. You can just send that video.
Yes, I will send. Okay.